All right, and welcome to This Week in League De Nutz. I'm Matt Levine. It is League De Nutz headquarters here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hard to believe we are on the precipice of Week 10. Week 9 in the books. It's been a great season in League De Nutz. We'll touch on the week to come. Of course, I'll preview that, give you my picks, also recap what just went by, and do some filler in between. As also, I'll give you the Commissioner's Corner, and we'll start that off right away as we get into things here on League De Nutz. And we'll also do some show and tell, try to add some visuals to tonight's show as we move along. And we are live here on the World Wide Web. What a great thing it's been. It's been a lot of fun doing this this season, by the way. I'm enjoying it, and it definitely has put a twist on the season. I feel like it's a great way to summarize everything and put a spin on everything and personalize it, generalize it, and kind of give you my spin and take on what each and every team goes through and what we all go through as we progress through the fantasy football season. So let's get right to it and give you the Commissioner's Corner. And of course, I think the most prevalent factor that goes into any champion in League De Nutz. We've had 3 two-time champion teams. Loopy's Legends, Keldar, Polkai. They've made up the brunt of the championships, and throughout any of their championship runs or the other respective teams that have made up the other 3 winning championship years, as we head into, we are in year number 10. Hard to believe in League De Nutz. The wide receiver. That's what will lead any team to victory. I found that out almost last year. Dinglings took me out in the championship game, but it was when my wide receivers came alive. And there's no secret. It's not rocket science. This is a wide receiver-driven league. And as I go through my notes and the nifty scoreboard from last week, I'll hit on the wide receivers and who won that battle. And I think it was more evident this week than it's been throughout the season, where the right wide receivers in the right combination at the right time. Again, I'm not saying anything you don't know. I'm just reiterating it and kind of analyzing it this week and starting the show off with the Commissioner's Corner. It's the wide receivers, and that was prevalent last week. And that is what's going to be the deciding factor again here in League De Nutz. So with that said, I've got some fancy graphics I'll roll up for you. If you see me tilt my head to the side, I have to come up with a better way to move the monitor in front of me so it looks like I'm switching less without, doing a Magic Johnson no-look pass without you seeing it. But it is what it is. So I've gotten some fancy graphics together for my crack staff. And let's take a look at the receiving points, okay? These are the points that you guys can go to the fancy stuff on ESPN and take a look on your own. But I think it's worth going back over the points and how much they matter as we hit the home stretch. We're in it. I said it last week. We hit the home stretch. You're in the home stretch right now. You either knee deep in it, ankle deep in it, or up to your neck in it. But these are the receiving points, right? So, of course, every 10 yards you get a point. Each reception you get a point. Touchdown, naturally 6 points. 40-plus yard, you get your Odell Beckham bomb, which really hasn't happened much. That's not a good one to use. Maybe a Keenan Allen is on my team. What can I say? Antonio Brown, you get it. Also, those guys apply to the next one. 50-yard, you get 2 for 40-plus. 50-yard, you get 3. 2-point reception, worth 2 points. Here are the big ones, the bottom 2. 100 to 199, you get 12 points. Okay? 200 yards there, you get 15 points. So that's where you make hay as we hit the home stretch. And that's where you could wind up winning a championship when these type of things happen. And we will go through the scoreboard and tell you about which lucky team hit the double bonus on the wide receiver. But that's kind of how it goes with the wide receiver scoring. So take that into mind. You can go find it again on the ESPN site. But remember just how important, muy importante, your wide receivers are. They make the difference. So that's your Commissioner's Corner. Again, nothing earth-shattering. You know this, but it's kind of interesting looking at it. And as I read the scores now, you'll see what a wide receiver here and there can do and make the difference. Right? Okay, so number 1, Dingstown. They improved to 5-4. They crush Sheriff Clark's fake medals. Dingstown finds a way, it seems, every couple of weeks to put up 200 plus. They did 240 to 158. That was the victory. Michael Thomas, as I went over the fancy graphic there with the receiving points, okay, and how you get them and hit the double bonus, he did it. 59 points, 12 receptions, 211 yards, a touchdown catch for the Saints. This kid has been fabulous. No secret about that. The leading receiver for Sheriff Clark's, Calvin Ridley, 21 points. You can see the differential. I mean, anytime you get a 59-point receiver and you're going to face him, Sheriff Clark's did the best he could, but you're going to come up short, and that certainly was the case. Now, I always mention defense. In real life and fantasy, defense the key. Heard some great Buddy Ryan stories this week, by the way, and I was thinking about this the other day. Buddy Ryan was carried off 85 Bears on the shoulders with Mike Ditka. I think that was the only Super Bowl. I may be wrong. I think it may have happened with Belichick Parcells, but my gut tells me that that was the only Super Bowl where that's happened, with both the head coach and the defensive coordinator got carried off on the player's shoulders. Pretty sure. Have to look that one up. Bears defense, speaking of Buddy Ryan, right? The 4-6 defense. Well, Bears defense here in 2018, they're not playing the 4-6, but they had 28 points against Buffalo, Stanford High School. No disrespect to my alma mater, but they probably could put up 28 points in defense against Buffalo. Big win, though, for Dingstown. Way to go. Meanwhile, Polk High School, they've lost 2 straight. We thought they'd go undefeated. They're still on the catbird seat, whatever the hell that means. 7-2. They lose to Lights Kamara Action, 191 to 150. Lights Kamara Action, 5-4. I wrote this down. He made an email to all of us today. He said, 3 in a row, finally in a groove. Beware League De Nutz in all caps. There's a picture in back of me. Duck my head out of it. You can't see it. Okay, it's over here, but you can't see it. It's just next to the Walter Matthew one right there. That's the Bad News Beer one. This way it would be. Anyways, it's Bull Durham. And you know what Crash Davis says to Nuke LaRouche? Give me a break, meat. That's what I've got to say to the rookie. Come on, dude. Got a long ways to go, Rook. Coming in my house talking junk. But I do admire the enthusiasm. We'll see. Meanwhile, for Polk High School, as I said, second straight. The difference in this one, Deshaun Watson and Kamara. Alvin Kamara. Those two, 56 points combined, able to hang with the great combination of Mahomes and Hunt, 75 this week. But the difference makers, talked about it, the receivers. Josh Gordon, 41 points. The only other player in double figures besides Hunt for the rest of the receivers and skill players, tight ends, flex, for Polk High School, O.J. Howard, 21 points to tight end, and Justin Tucker, the kicker, 10 points. So you can see where the receivers come into play as we march on. Meanwhile, Yonkers, how about them? Trying to make a project in Yonkers that Yonkers Shotgunners was telling me about on the telephone called Chicken Island. Google it. Interesting stuff. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. I'll get to next week in just a moment, by the way. Here as we do a recap of Week 9 on this week in League De Nutz and talk about Week 10. I've got my picks. They're coming. Got lots to talk about. Yonkers, 6-3. They win their third in a row over Loopies. The final 164-112. Loopy now 6-3 as well. Willie Sneed. The only thing going on for Loopies, we keep hitting on wide receivers, 12 points, okay? Yonkers, meanwhile. How about Adam Humphries? Good job by Yonkers pulling a Sanford and Son. Lamont, you big dummy. 28 points for Humphries. Pulled him off the scrap heap a couple of weeks ago. Good job there. Wide receiver battle won by Yonkers, 76-37. Keep hitting on that wide receiver battle. The fourth matchup to recap in week number 9. Smash U. Love this win over Keldy. 4-5 for the Smash. 2-7 for Keldy. 176.96 was the final. Keldy had all kinds of trouble. Saquon on the bye leave. Juju never really kicking up any dust. 14 points for him. How about the kid Scantling on Green Bay? 25 points. Amani Cooper, some new life in him in Dallas. 16 points. As all of a sudden, Smashy's wide receiver corps are coming together. I've been talking about that all season. As for Keldar, he's a two-time champ. I gave him his props earlier in the show, didn't I? But if you remember about 4 weeks ago or so, Keldar made this declaration. That's his picture. Remember, Earth Filth, soon it'll be Keldar season. Since then, he's lost 4 straight. So Keldar struggling mightily right now. And it looks like Keldar may be looking forward to 2019. I know we still have time. He's on life support. Ain't over till it's over, as Yogi said. But Keldar is going to need the old miracle on ice. We'll see. Meanwhile, Smash U continues on. He goes into that pack of 4 and 5 teams that are still alive and fairly well. Clark Kent, another 4 and 5 team. They dropped the Florida Mermanators. Mermanators started this season off flying high. The rookie thought it would be easy. But it's been anything but easy. 5 and 4 as they lose the Mermanators to Clark Kent. We know his story. You know, for him to be 4 and 5, it's amazing. It really is. Watch him go on and win it. I don't want to jinx myself, so I've got to knock on shatterproof glass. 121-101. I think I said the score already. Juju, my bad. Julio Jones, 38 points, his first touchdown of the season. That led the way for the auto drafters in Clark Kent. Wide receiver battle, 60-35. It's won by Clark Kent. Mike Evans, only 2 points. Last week, I think I jinxed him by declaring him perhaps the best receiver in fantasy football. And Antonio Brown, a modest 15 points. And finally, yours truly, Nutztown Destroyers, a big win over Thielen Groovy. I improved to 4 and 5. Thielen now 3 and 6. Nutztown sends Thielen to Meltzy Award. Congratulations. I'll have a recap tomorrow, Thursday morning. I'll try to get to it, or in the afternoon. 175, 277. Dion Lewis, he's been up and down for Nutztown. He came through with 22 points. Duke Johnson, he's been a free man as he is no longer under the reins of Hugh Jackson, and they are now going to use him liberally, Greg Williams and company, in the right way. And when Duke gets loose, he has a big day as he rambles for almost 30 points. DeAndre Hopkins, what's new? He always shows up. 38 points, wide receiver battle on this one. Yours truly, 90-33. Moral of the story, start the right receivers, pluck the right ones off of the waiver wire, which I'm dealing with this week. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the standings before we get into the predictions, and then we wrap up this week in League De Nutz. As I've got my crack staff doing a great job with the graphics on the standings. And as you take a look, let's go from the top left across. So we'll start with the Haganah. 6 and 3 for the Yonkers Shotgunners. 2 games back for yours truly. Mentioned Keldar a moment ago. He's limping along. 4 games back. Never know. 2 and 7. You need a lot of magic. Froly Roper, Polk High School. 3 games up on Clark Kent. 7 and 2. Clark Kent, amazing. 4 and 5. Sheriff, not out of it yet. 3 and 6, 4 behind. Luca Brasi. Interesting there as you get Loopy, 6 and 3, the 2-time defending champ, looking good. Smash, 4 and 5, 2 back. Groovy, 3 and 6, 3 back. Shoreham Drive, bottom right. This is the best division in the league. The Haganah of old is now Shoreham Drive East, the defending champion. Dingalings, 5 and 4. Kamara Action, 5-4. Mermanators, 5 and 4. So pretty interesting stuff as you look at the standings there and you see what teams are alive and well. And just about everyone, even Keldar, as I keep beating up on the poor guy, he even has a chance. No one's mathematically eliminated just yet. But again, you've got to start considering a few things. I'm getting killed with the bye week this week. That's going to go on, right? Another week or so. You got to start looking at guys that may pick up the pace off the waiver wire, which has been dead. This has been the worst waiver wire I've seen in our league, period, ever. But there are some gems, and you got to get lucky. I scavenged the waiver wire. It took me 9 weeks to have to do it because I've got bye week problems. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on this week in League De Nutz. Keldar is a 10-point favorite against Lights Kamara Action. Keldar will have Diggs out of the lineup. Watson will be out for Kamara. Again, 2-7, 5-4. Looks like Keldar also may have learned his lesson with Andy Dalton. Phillip Rivers in the starting lineup for now. I'll go with Keldar. He's a two-time defending champ. A lot of pride here. Kamara Action starting to get cocky. Again, I admire that, but you are a rookie. So I'll go with Keldar. I think he covers, gets a big win. Yonkers, 6-3, taking on Dingalings. Yonkers, again, 3 straight victories. They are only a 2.7 favorite. Interesting matchup here at quarterbacks. Breeze in the lineup thus far for Yonkers. He averages 26 a game. Goff, just about 23 a game. Battle of the quarterbacks has me thinking Dingalings comes up with the upset. And it's wishful thinking because I am chasing the Yonkers in that division. But anyway, I think Dingalings comes up with the upset. And Yonkers falls this week. Sheriff will take on Smash U. Smash, a touchdown 7-point favorite. Sheriff has lost 2 in a row. You got 3-6 Sheriff, 4-5 Smash. Connor has been a beast for Sheriff. Unbelievable. 49 points per game in his last 4. Melvin Gordon has been solid for Smash. He's averaged about 30 in his last 4, coming off 34 last week for the San Diego, for the Los Angeles Chargers. So, point being here, if there's some way, also Ezekiel Elliott is on Smash's team. If one of those 2 running backs can somehow shut down Connor, then Smash, I think, has a chance. However, I think Sheriff covers. I'm going to take Smash in a 1-point win. How about that? Me, Nutztown Destroyers, taking on the Florida Mermanators. We finally get to square off, and I'm a 35-point underdog. I usually take myself. Mermanators even alluded to that in a league-wide email earlier. Not this week. I've got issues, man. Big time issues. For me, out Emmanuel Sanders, Hopkins, Cook, the jerk, Cousins. In Baker Mayfield. What can I do? Look at that waiver wire. There's not a bevy of quarterbacks out there that are much better, rookie or not. I think Baker's my best bet. Cordell Patterson, I'm going with wishful thinking there. I've got John Ross, wishful thinking that he can step in and be the man in Cincy with AJ out. And I've got Slim Pickens on the bench. Pierre Garçon. I don't know. I'm going to need a lot of luck. I think I cover the 35. But I think Mermanators takes out yours truly. As I'm in that bottom of that pack, just looking to survive at 4-5. Good matchup here with 6-3 Loopy taking on Clark Kent, 4-5, 9-point favorite for Clark Kent. You know, Clark Kent has been verbally abused by yours truly throughout the season. I don't have to reiterate anything. But this time I'm going to go with him. I think he gets the win this week. I really do. I think he comes through with the win. Not any major bye week guys here, except for Kyle Rudolph. He'll be out for Loopy. You know, Austin Hooper for Atlanta is Clark Kent's tight end. I was looking at his numbers. I was thinking he's a 12. I talked about tight ends a couple weeks ago. There's far and few between the handful of elite ones. But I was thinking he's 12, maybe 15 points. He's a 10-point game tight end. There's nothing wrong with that, but I figured he'd put up a little bit more. But that's maybe the difference on Sunday. The fact that Loopy loses the starting tight end and maybe Hooper goes off for Clark Kent. I'm not sure, but I think Clark Kent covers, gets the victory. And finally, Polkai struggling with those 2 straight losses. We had them going undefeated. They had the VIP parking spot. They got the bottle service a couple weeks ago. I even threw in the biatch for the bottle service, didn't I? 9-point underdogs against Thielen Groovy, 3-6. No Thielen for Thielen Groovy. Thielen Groovy also has Ryan Fitzpatrick in there, quarterback. That's some stretching. But I think Polkai gets back on track. So I'll take Polkai over Thielen Groovy. So lots going on. I hope you enjoyed this show. I did. And we had the Twitter messages going. I hope you enjoyed those as well. That's Matt E. Levine. YouTube channel. Tell everyone you know about it because I need subscribers. I got a few. I put some other content on there if you want to check it out. So doing a little bit of this and that. But this week in League De Nutz has been the testing ground for everything going on. And it's been a lot of fun. So all I can do is wish you a very successful Week 10. Hopefully for those of you who feel like you're down and out, maybe there's some hope. For those of you who are like me, wishful thinking, just skating by, hopefully there's some hope. And for the guys at the top, I hope you all lose so those guys at the bottom can rise up somehow and catch up to you. But it should be fun. It's always a parity-filled league. And again, it's all about the wide receivers. One quick note before I say adios. And I'm just about to say adios. Next week, I'm on the road for work. And I'm not sure Wednesday night if I can do the show. But the good news is I'm bringing the camera. I'm bringing the lights. I'm bringing the mic. If I can, I will do the show next Wednesday or an impromptu during the game next Thursday. Worst comes to worst, I'll do it next Friday or next weekend. But I'm going to get a show in no matter what. Anyway, good luck in Week 10. Enjoy it. And I'm Matt Levine saying so long and adios for this week in League De Nutz.